Your teen just got told they can't go out this weekend. No discussion, just a ruling. Their jaw tightens for half a second, then half a smile. Okay, that's fine, which translated from teenager to English means this will absolutely be discussed in therapy one day. Rule your kid learned before they could name it. Your kid was maybe 7 or 8. Something happened. A toy got taken. A sibling got the bigger piece. A promise got broken. They got angry. Normal angry. Maybe you went cold and withdrew warmth. Maybe you said something like, "We don't act like that in this house." Every family has one sentence that accidentally becomes corporate policy. Some run on one parent silently unloading the dishwasher like they're preparing for war. Maybe it was subtler. A shift in energy that landed like a verdict. Whatever it was, the message that got delivered was, anger costs something here. Families rarely say the rule out loud. They just communicate it through facial expressions and dishwasher energy. A study found that when parents consistently dismissed or punished anger, teens shifted to suppression. The anger got relocated, and that relocation might have looked like cooperation. But your kid didn't forget the feeling. They just learned to audition a different one, the customer service version, the version that gets to stay in the room and keep its phone privileges. 2. What's actually running underneath that smile? They come home from school. Something is clearly wrong. You ask, "I'm good." You push, "Seriously, I'm fine." You push harder. Same answer, different smile. That smile deserves workers' compensation. It's doing all the heavy lifting. Here's what's happening underneath. Psychologist James Gross studied what happens in the body when someone actively suppresses an emotion. The feeling stays fully alive, heart rate up, but the face goes calm. Body language goes cooperative. Meanwhile, internally, civil war. Round of applause for pretending nothing weird's happening. Like a 2014 MacBook trying to open Photoshop. One more browser tab and the whole thing starts smoking. That's why your kid says 12 pleasant words, then disappears for 3 hours, recharging from the performance they just gave you. Habitual suppressors report worse relationships because keeping the mask on takes so much cognitive bandwidth that there's nothing left for an actual connection. Your teen's politeness is costing them something. You're just never handed the bill. 3. The calculation happening before any emotion reaches their face. Your kid is doing math you never assigned. Every time something happens that would normally make a teenager angry, a rule they think is unfair, a comment that stung, their brain runs a calculation before any emotion reaches their face. Option A, I express frustration, parent escalates, lecture, privilege gone, house tense for 2 days, I still don't get what I wanted. Option B, I swallow it, say, okay, go to my room, the house stays calm, I keep my phone, dinner's normal, nobody's upset except me, and I'm used to that, which starts sounding normal after enough repetitions. That's the scary part. They pick option B, better return on investment, emotionally filing a risk assessment before speaking. Psychotherapist Pete Walker identified a 4th survival response alongside fight, flight, and freeze. When pushing back feels dangerous and walking away feels impossible, the brain lands on a 3rd move. Become whatever the room needs you to be. Your teen didn't learn this from a textbook. Live demonstrations. From watching what happened every time somebody in your house got angry and how it went for them. Option B won every round. The house stayed calm, which sounds healthy until you realize submarine crews are calm too. That's discipline, not safety. 4. Why you're laughing at the wrong thing. Suppressed anger doesn't vanish. It changes clothes. In some kids, it shows up as exhaustion. They sleep 12 hours and still look drained because managing an emotion you're actively pretending you don't have takes a kind of energy that sleep can't touch. In other kids, it becomes sarcasm, sharp, perfectly timed, technically not rude comments that carry the full weight of the thing they actually wanted to say. You laugh because it's funny. They laugh because it's the only way they're allowed to push back without it counting as anger. Sarcasm is anger wearing a tuxedo. Everyone claps because the outfits are nice. Some teenagers sound like tiny divorced comedians. In other kids, it reroutes inward entirely. A study of over 500 adolescents found that teens who relied on expressive suppression showed significantly higher anxiety, withdrawal, and depressive symptoms. The anger didn't dissolve. It just lost its outward direction and turned on the only available target, them. If your teenager's watching this, they already know which costume their anger wears, the tone of voice when they're furious but can't afford to show it, the specific joke they deploy when what they actually want to do is slam a door. Terrifyingly good at it, which is impressive in the same way lockpicking is impressive. You still don't want it becoming a survival skill. 5. What I don't care is actually holding up. Your teen says it about the rule, the grade, the consequence, the plan they just got excluded from. I don't care. Voice flat, face neutral, shrug, back to the phone, smoke coming out of one mental Chrome tab. You think you're looking at apathy. You're looking at a kid who cared so many times, so hard, that caring without being allowed to express the anger that comes with it becomes unbearable. So they build a wall. I don't care is the wall, and it's load-bearing. It's holding up the entire structure of their relationship with you. Because caring openly, frustration, heat, raised voices has been too expensive every time they've tried it. Your kids' cooperation, their agreeableness, that composure you might quietly be relieved about, those are survival strategies running on autopilot. No reality show called Extreme Politeness Season 4. Nobody gets canceled for having no needs. It disguises itself as maturity right up until the moment it stops working. And by the time it stops working, at 25 in a relationship, at 30 in a job, at 35 in a therapist's office, nobody connects it back to the kitchen table where a 7-year-old learned that okay was safer than that's unfair. 6. The experiment they already ran on you. Think about the last time your kid got genuinely angry at you. What happened in the room? Not what you meant to do, what actually happened. Did the conversation stay a conversation? Or did it become a correction, a power move, a shutdown? Your kid remembers. Every time they showed you something real and got punished for it. Every time they swallowed it and the house stayed calm. Their brain filed both and built a policy. Your child's brain has an HR department now. When parents respond with support, sitting with it, treating it as information, kids develop the ability to regulate it. Anger becomes a signal, something that can exist between two people without destroying anything. When parents respond with punishment, kids learn the opposite. Anger becomes a threat, and once that equation locks in, the only rational move is to hide it from everyone. Your brain starts replaying dinner conversations like true crime footage. They stop disagreeing with you entirely. They correct themselves mid-sentence, glance at you, and dial it back. They answer hard questions with, I don't know, delivered with the emotional range of a parking meter. They agree with you faster than's humanly possible for an actual opinion to form. You're looking at a kid who's learned that your comfort is more important than their honesty. And they made that trade voluntarily because the market conditions in your household: one room, no audience, no correction. Sticko here. Research sources linked in the description, which means while normal people enjoyed their evening, I was voluntarily reading PDFs about the adolescent emotional suppression. Here's what changes this. The next time your kid's angry, genuinely, visibly angry, you stay in the room. Don't match it. Don't correct it. Don't explain why they shouldn't feel that way. You just stay. Then you're angry. That makes sense. I want to hear it. That one sentence rewrites a policy their brain's been enforcing for years. Your anger doesn't cost you me. They might not trust it the first time. They probably shouldn't. One sentence doesn't overwrite years of data. Their brain updates based on evidence, not insight. Every time you stay, the alarm gets quieter. Every time anger exists in the room and connection holds, anger is safe with this person. That's the whole repair. Boring, repetitive, unsexy. Just you in a room, letting your kid be angry without it becoming a crisis. Letting them bring the unpolished version of themselves to dinner and finding out the table still has a seat for them. Because polite kids are easy. Customer service employees are polite too. That doesn't mean they feel safe. Kids who trust you with their anger, that's harder. Your kid is out there right now smiling through something that should have been a fight, running the math on whether you can handle the version of them that pushes back. And every time they pick the smile, they move a little further from you. That's the part people miss. The kind of distance that looks like maturity and feels like loneliness. You can't make them angry, but you can make anger survivable. And the first time they raise your voice at you and you don't flinch, that's the moment they start coming back.